Very good afternoon to all the brilliant minds present over here. I'm thrilled to have you all in our webinar called AI Meets Admission. Be ready for a live demo of our exclusive product, Vidya GPT AI, and also don't miss the insider access in the end. I'll just start with a quick introduction. My name is Charu, and I'm a growth consultant at ExtraEdge. It's been 3+ years that I'm empowering admission teams to achieve their admission goals. Along with me, I have Abhishek, our co-founder at ExtraEdge and the man behind shaping the era of intelligent admissions. Hey, Abhishek, would you like to introduce?
Sure. Thank you, Charu, and welcome everyone on the call. Uh, at ExtraEdge, we have been helping admission teams, for the last 6 years, to get to product market fit, understand their prospects better, and and meet their admission goals. Now, in the era of AI, where a lot of software companies are moving in that direction, it was very obvious that we took that leap. And today, I'm super excited to showcase to all of you that what we have in store. And this is just the start beginning, Charu. I mean, as Jeff Bezos say, this is day zero. So this is day zero for all of us. And the good part is that today we will be able to show and tell and share with you that what are the few things you could really do to 10x your engagement, 10x your communication, and 10x your admission outcomes. So super excited to be here and be a part of that.
Absolutely.
That's it from Manjaro. Yeah.
Great. So before we get started, guys, I'm putting up a poll. This is just to understand how many of were you there to see our last webinar and sneak peek of our Vidya GPT. So yeah, please go ahead. So meanwhile, Abhishek, people are voting. Maybe you would like to give them a major takeaways from our previous webinar, AI takes over
Yeah.
admissions.
Absolutely, Charu. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's very important to weave this entire thread. So we are just not doing a one webinar, just sporadic off the shelf. No, it's a series of webinar to educate our audience who are part of the admission teams, part of the marketing team, part of the outreach team, counselors, telecallers, and anybody who has anything to do with admissions and marketing in an education institute about what could AI do, to their admissions. And as the saying goes that, AI will not replace humans, but AI will replace humans who, humans will not be replaced by AI, but humans will be replaced by humans who know how to use AI, right? So in this case, it's very, very important that even the admission team members become AI enabled and AI first professionals. So in the first webinar, we had really amazing guests who have worked in organizations like Gus Education, UPES, then Vishwakarma University, and few others who spoke about from a different perspective that why this is important for the admission industry, what will change, how do we need to train our counselors and team members, how does the head of the organization and the owners need to think about it, build the case for bringing in more AI into the admission and investing both from a buying of the software and implementation of the software. And also, finally, we spoke about that what are the really good use cases, Charu, that we could go and kind of solve for. And one of the very core prominent use cases is basically conversation. So
Absolutely.
we went through a one-on-one. What does it mean? We unpacked some of the impacts on admission and marketing during the discussion. And key takeaway was that AI native isn't just hype, it's the new expectation. And and what we assume that it has already come to us, it's faster than that, right? So that's the one message that I wanted to leave in the last webinar, that you think that, yeah, it may impact my admission. It has already done that. It's
Yeah,
just you are waiting or you're delaying that acting part, which you need to do very, 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 very immediately. So I think these were the key takeaways, Charu, from the last webinar
absolutely.
that we did.
And if you see, Abhishek, all around the world, AI has not just taken over admissions, but mostly all the parts of our day-to-day lives. When we are implementing AI in all such parts, admissions definitely needs AI right now. With that, I'm excited to share the results with you. You'll be glad to know that a lot of new people have turned up this time, so it will be even more fun to show the magic again. So yeah, moving ahead to Abhishek, maybe you would want to talk about the evolution of AI and probably then we can take it forward.
Yeah, absolutely, Charu. So I think, the concept of work is changing very fast, Charu, and for the audience, right? Work used to mean efforts. Today, work means outcomes, right?
Mm.
So when I talk to a head of admission in an organization, he's not interested in buying a software. He's interested in making sure that his admission outcomes and conversions are fulfilled, right? So
Yes.
people are expecting in the enterprise who are buying software, they're expecting outcomes to be achieved. People inside the organizations are expecting their employees and their co-members to also not optimize for effort or hard work only, but for KPIs, deliver
Mm.
key core KPIs. Just to give you an example, if somebody is buying a ticketing software, they are just not paying for number of users who will use the ticketing software, Charu. They are basically expecting that how many tickets are resolved, and they are
Mm.
resolved very, very happily and satisfactorily, right?
True.
So that's a very good example of why buyers are now paying for outcomes. So that's where tech is changing and how the work is changing as we speak. So you do all the work on the software, right? But we really are moving from there to an era where click and event is moving to what we call asking for help. So you're asking for help to your assistant, and the assistant can give you a nudge and help you. That's what we call co-pilot. From there, we are moving to a direction where AI is able to do a specific job for you, which you have defined from end to end. That's what we call agentic workflow. And finally, at the end of the day, AI is basically potentially helping you to run the show and automatically what we call in an ambient mode. So the definition of
Mm.
ambient, Charo, is invisible. It's not visible. It's already doing your job for you. A very good example of a AI in mainstream consumer business, Charu, is that if we go to IRCTC and try to book our tickets, they
Mm-hmm.
give a probability that what is the probability you will get this
Yeah.
confirmed or not.
Right.
So I think IRCT is one of the most widely used consumer product in India, not Zomato, not Swiggy. And a lot of tier two, three cities people use that. And by looking at the single number of when would I get the ticket when I'm moving from say Patna to Pune, right? Or from Delhi to Hyderabad, it becomes very, very easy. So that's where AI becomes autopilot or what we call ambient, and it's potentially running end-to-end workflow and show. This is one of the examples. So that's the evolution how it's going to happen in any industry, and
Yeah.
that's also going to happen in the education industry, Charu, I feel.
Absolutely. And for our audience to understand it even more better, I have actually put up some slides which can help them to relate better. So yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a funny slide. While we were growing up, this car was very famous called Ambassador, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know how many of you in the audience have driven an Ambassador. It used to take real effort to tear the steering wheel because it was not automatic. And if you had a really steep corner, Charu, I mean, it really required really good muscle exercise on your arm
Okay.
and hands to move that. So, I mean, this is what software era is, guys. That basically what we're trying to say is that you have to do multiple clicks, you have to do multiple events in order to achieve a workflow. So like it's like as good as driving an ambassador car, in the era, which has its huge advantages because prior to that we did not even have a car, right? We were
Yeah.
traveling
Yeah.
public transport. So it has its own benefits, it had its own value, but it was like do it yourself in the software era. Definitely. You have to steer your outcomes yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Great.
then,
So so then Charu, we had Google Maps,
mhm.
right? I think anybody who has driven in a pre-Google Map era, say from, in Himachal or probably in Uttarakhand, they will know that it was such a nightmare, right? So now here is an assistant on your car that you can ask for help, and here you have to ask for help. You have to say that, hey, I want to travel from, say Delhi to your city, Jaipur, basically Charu in this case, and do not deviate me, give me the best possible path to reach there. So a lot of efficiencies were unlocked here, because
Yeah.
with assistant in hand, Charu, on a car, you're just not moving, you're cruising and you're not getting lost, right? So there is safety inbuilt there that they will guide you in the right direction. So it kind of moved, and this is basically the co-pilot era. We were
Yeah.
already using. So funny thing about these new terms is that they try to kind of end up confusing us, but we are already doing that. So a map in a car is basically a co-pilot, right? That's guiding you in the
Absolutely.
right
Yeah.
direction. Yeah.
Because since the time I have started driving, I always had maps. So I just wonder how people used to manage it earlier. So I'm pretty sure having map is such a convenient. Yeah, Copilot is must, I would say.
right? And just imagine that in ambassador car, you have all your family members, and if the driver is getting lost, what the family members will be doing to the driver, right? Right. And yeah, I mean, so, and this is even more, if any one of you have experienced MG Hector or have experienced a new Creta or have sat in that, I mean, it's an internet powered car. So basically, that car is knows your preferences, knows your driving mechanisms. It is doing lot of things while you are driving. So you could probably give a pre-designed instruction that, hey, I need to go from here to here. You would also want to make 3 or 4 calls. So you could add those calls in the queue, Charu. And while
Yeah.
you are doing all those things, your original playlist on Spotify is also playing. And if there's a children playlist, you have children around with you, or you have your, better halves or your loved ones. So you could play those kind of music. You could also understand that what were the different kinds of email that came to your inbox, some urgent emails that need to be replied. Yeah, MG Hector has a ability to do quick replies to emails like you have on your smartphones, like, okay, got it, thank you very much, I'll get back to you later. So lot of your work and life is basically pre-programmed on a MG Hector or Creta while you're driving to it. It's just not restricted to a co-pilot, and this is what we call agentic, where you have a workflow, and the workflow is that, can you quickly reply to an email, can you quickly reply to a playlist or play a song while you're doing all of those things. By the way, you're driving also in the first place. It's not kind of the core job is driving from point A to point B, it's happening, but a lot of other things, Charu, in the background are happening
Hmm. Hmm.
without your human intervention. They're
Hmm.
automatically happening as you go. So this is what we call the era of agentic workflows, where an agent is doing a workflow for a human, where human
Hmm.
has defined the workflow. Hugely powerful, huge ramification of updating data in the CRM, sending out outbound communication like phone call, email, SMS, what. I think we are going in a world, Charu, very soon that nobody needs to update the CRM. CRM will update itself. And that's a very
Yeah.
good example of that. And they will only focus on talking to the students. And we'll talk about few things today also. So that's the,
Sure.
era of agentic, Charu.
Sure. And probably we should just move to the last era.
Yeah, so
My
that's
favorite.
that's Tesla, guys. That's
Yeah.
Tesla. That's Tesla for you. And I think if we are all believing Elon Musk, then it is going to be released in India very soon, right? And so yeah, I mean, just sit back, on the back seat, spend time with your loved ones, and your Tesla is auto driving you, right? And in areas like San Francisco in US, there are
Hmm.
thousands of self-driving car which are driving themselves. And just imagine that, no driver, and imagine in any of the workflows that we do in admission teams in the future, imagine that there are only few people who are doing very, very specific, focused, amazing task, and a lot of things are kind of assisted and automated at the background. A very good example for this, Charu, from an admission context is the first call,
Hmm.
first outbound call that goes to a prospect. Now,
Yeah.
first outbound call has a lot of commonality, and it's also very non-deterministic, because in the first outbound call, you don't know what the kid will ask. He
True.
might immediately say that, no, I'm busy. He will cut the phone in 5 seconds, or he might ask n number of questions that how the institute A is different than institute B, and so on and so forth. So you can keep on asking that. And that's a very good candidate, Charu, for autopilot, which we call autopilot. That could be completely automated by a agent. And this is the
Wow.
era of what we call autopilot. So we move from software to copilot, copilot to agentic, and now
Hmm.
agentic to autopilot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's what you see on the screen.
Hmm.
Uh, and really we wanted to, can you go back, Charu? When That's what we wanted to talk about, really our audience. And as far as today's presentation goes, Charu, we would want to really do a show and tell, and
Just a second.
really, yeah, the 9th slide, Charu. Yeah. Yeah. So we want to kind of talk about our first product, which is basically a co-pilot called Vidya GPT. We call it Vidya GPT AI. This is the first time we are unveiling this.
Yeah.
So it's a very exciting moment and a lot of hard work of last 6 to 7 months to put this together. Before I start, I would like to share to the audience here is that today building an AI product is not that difficult. Okay. And I say that with all sincerity. If you need to build a POC to play around for internal purpose, it's not difficult. But building a AI product with security, with privacy, with the right use case on production with thousands of people are using is super, super tough. It's not easy, right? So I would say that we have taken great care to think about the first movement, Charu,
Yeah.
from extra edge software to Copilot, or what we call the car with the map,
Yeah.
called Vidya GPT. So today we are going to show you that how you could do your admission with a map and with a guidance, which would
Definitely.
really do a lot of wonders to both your prospects, students, parents, as well as your counselors.
Yes, absolutely. Abhishek, I think this is something that people have been waiting for so long because in all our promotions, this is all that we have been talking about. We have already given them a glimpse of how it can help you, and now seeing the magic by you will make
Yep.
more sense. So yeah, I'll
Sure.
I'll
No.
just stop sharing and over to you for the demo.
Yeah. So I think let me kind of share my screen and take you through. Shall just let me know if you're able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Can? Okay. So I'll start with the most prestigious university in the world. Now, Stanford is the most prestigious university in the world. And let me kind of weave a story for all you guys. Anybody who wants to apply to Stanford goes here, right? They'll see the mission, they see the campus news, they see the academic news, and see a lot of different things, right? And there are a lot of information available there into the facts, history, memo, and so on and so forth, right? Take an Indian example. One of our customers and very prestigious university in Pune, best known for mechanical engineering programs, Vishwakarma University. Again, website, lot of information, a lot of data, different things, useful, right? But what happens when a student or a parent sits together and a parent is talking to a student about in Hindi that beta ya beti kya karna hai abhi? What do you want to do next? And the conversation goes something like that. Parents suggest something, the kid has some kind of idea what he or she wants to do, and finally they have a question. Okay, what is the question? So for example, I'm in Patna. I want to send my daughter to Pune. So I want to know that what are the great career options and things like that at, say, Vishwakarma University. So I freeze the university, but I want to know that, do they offer AI programs? Okay, do they offer security for my kid at the campus or not? What's the eligibility looks like, and so on and so forth. So basically, when somebody comes to the website, Charu, of a education institute, they have a question.
Hmm.
Okay, and we end up throwing them a lot of data and information.
Yeah.
Information and data also builds credibility of the brand, because when you see these kind of things, trust builds. So it is there for a reason, but it defeats the purpose of answering that question that they have in their mind, right? Now, the software era, Charu,
Mm-hmm.
we had chatbots. Now this is our own
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
And
I
this
saw
is
that.
our product. So we'll go and it will kind of answer these questions, ask you for some email ID and things like that. It's okay, but it's not talking to me. I really want to ask a simple question, that what are the hostel facilities there? I don't have any option to answer that question today here, right? And that's the problem we want to solve. That kids and parents, when they come to a website, or even when they come to the campus or they make a phone call, they have a very specific question in mind. And that is the first product that we want to bring along to it. That imagine a world where go to any kind of website of a prospect. So this is a website, right? And here we are greeted by a very simple GPT style thing where you kind of throw a basic name. It will ask you some more email address and details. You can give that, or even we can even make it that we kind of skip that if we want to, right? So we kind of skip that. It's important that there is no abuse happening, because people can come and ask funny things, right? So we
Yeah.
also verify those details if we can potentially. So we go ahead and verify those things. So in this case, it will ask, it has already verified, I'm already verified, and now I can start asking things about that. What is the eligibility?
Okay, so you're asking the questions right there.
Yeah, what's the eligibility
Okay, okay. In this case, I would like to invite my audience also, guys. You can put your prompts in the chat bot and let's see you can
criteria?
just put it in the Q&A or the chat section available.
So I'll just start with one. I mean, like,
Yeah, you can start with one and maybe
any
then
kind
we can
of
pick from the
any kind of uh, program or any kind of scholarship or any kind of eligibility criteria. So here I'm asking for a BTech program, so it asking me that what do you really want to know? And
Mhm.
I will probably pick one of the prompts and I say that at least let's start some of the eligibility criteria, if
Yeah,
not
yeah.
anything special. So tell me that if I really want to take admission criteria, so what kind of programs, what kind of context I want to have. And if it does not have an information, it will tell me it does not have information. So maybe I will say that maybe let's talk about courses in design, because for my cousin, sister, or daughter, I really want to talk about some of the programs and courses in design. So this information you would have got from different brochures or PDF, but it will really go deeper into it and talk
Hmm.
about the Bachelor of Fashion Technology program, which is there in Vishwakarma University, which are very, very important to it. And then I can either ask, I can query, so I'll say that, tell me more
Yeah.
about hostel facilities. And I can have multiple question. I could have simple question. I could have detailed question, and I could
Actually,
expand the window of it.
Abhishek, audience has a lot of questions for you. So let me just pick a few from there.
Yeah, sure.
Um, okay. Somebody is asking, my son wants to make a career in AI and analytics to work as a data scientist. What can he study at VU Pune? Okay. So now over here, somebody wants to understand that their son wants to make a career in AI and analytics.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what options do they have in the
Sure.
university?
So in this case, let's expand the window and kind of answer this question. So let me again type this question for you. So would you like to answer the question, Charu? Tell me the question.
Yeah, it says, my son wants to make a career in AI and analytics to work as a data scientist. What can he study at the university?
What can he study at the? So I'm also making mistake because people will end up making mistake
Yeah.
at the university. And also, like, share me a contact detail,
Mm-hmm.
give a call or email ID to write to. Okay, because it will also write to somebody, right? In this case. So let's see what it does. So if it has any kind of career in AI and analytics, so for example, I mean that was fast, right? It
Yeah.
it was like in milliseconds. So it understand there are two contexts here, that your son has several options at VU Pune to pursue career in AI and analytics. You could either go for computer science program in AI and ML Charu, or you
Mm-hmm.
also do higher program in MSc in statistics and data science, but you also
Okay.
have PGDM program in generative AI, because you have not told me whether your son is a UG guy or PG guy. So I have given you all the options. Okay.
Great.
And
Great.
also I have given you detailed email ID and phone number to contact, because it will be difficult to go on the website and find this. You will require multiple clicks to do that. And you can keep on going and doing that here very, very clearly. So that's another very good example of doing that for the kid. Yeah. Do you want to give
Okay.
me another one?
Yeah. Before that, I could see that somebody has said, please make the screen full, unable to view the GPT screen. Um,
Are you able to
I
see the
can,
screen full?
yeah, I can. Guys, if you can please let us know if you're able to see the screen.
So I've made the screen full.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think now it will be clearer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, this one is very interesting, Abhishek. It says, will it help a mother to a 18-year-old daughter traveling from Delhi to Pune, and the mother is concerned about daughter's security? So can it tell about the safety at campus and also share the contact details?
Okay.
Okay, that was
So,
interesting.
so I am a mother to a 18-year-old daughter from New Delhi, concerned about security
Yeah, security. She
campus,
daughter security is what she
the
mentioned.
campus and safety. Uh, can you share more details on that? Anything else, Charu?
They they have also asked for email and contact ID.
Okay, so maybe we again say that share me a contact detail and email of the warden of the college, or a cell or a grievance cell email ID for the. Let's ask a different for a grievance cell, just in case. So in case something happens, I can just raise a grievance, right? So let's see like what happens. So I hope that it will take all this great. So this time, it's very intelligently put, and we'll talk about why it's intelligent than a normal off-the-mill chat. So it has understood that there is a grievance for a daughter in case any issue it might face. There is a cell that is somewhere there. There are two individuals, Ganesh and Vinayak. There are contact numbers are provided and the timings are also mentioned. But it has also answered the question, Charu, that there is a aspect of student welfare, campus safety, robust security measures, camera, surveillance, security personnel, and emergency response protocol to ensure the well-being of the student. Right.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Charu, I just want to emphasize the fact no human touch.
Yeah,
They are just asking these questions, they're getting these answers, very, very clearly. Yeah.
absolutely.
You want to take another swing? Any other question?
Actually, there are a lot. Probably you can look into the chat. I'm just wondering which one should we go for the show.
Just looking at the
But
Q&A. Okay. Okay, so
the
asking that placement statistics for the last 3 years, which a prominent company visited. So again, this is a demo that we have trained. We don't know whether it will give the placement statistics or not, but maybe we can try it out and see that maybe not last 3 years because it will be not having the data, but we can talk about some of the important placement statistics in a prominent company and stuff like that. Let's see what it does. We are not sure whether we have trained it or not, but we can just quickly check, right? So again, we don't have context of that, but it says that there are document mentioned that Accenture, Amazon, Flipkart, TCS have come, but we have not trained on that. So we have not trained on the placement document or it. If once we train that, we will be able to also answer that. But it generally says that some of the companies have come there. So a good AI model or a co-pilot is as good as the data that you give it to it. So here we have taken a little bit of data of the website and some data to give you a context for a demo purpose. But definitely if we train, we will be able to offer this also very, very clearly, right?
so what you're saying is that the more data we provide it to them in any structure, or there has to be some sort of structure.
It can be website, it could be
Okay,
URL, PDF, we could crawl and
nice.
we could everything. And one important question that I will want to ask and put it here is that a lot of times students compare, Charu,
Hmm.
this case. So they will want to compare. So let me add a comparison one. So I build a thing that, so I'm from Bharati Vidyapeeth, right? So I have an offer with Bharati Vidyapeeth as well as VU Pune. Tell me more about VU Pune so I can make a better choice. I'm a little confused as my favorite branch preference is mechanical engineering. And
Hmm.
tell me why should I choose View Pune. By the way, both are great organizations. I have studied in one, I know people there. So both are great. But then in this case, I want a little bit of comparison, Charu, because a lot of times people do comparison. And this is a very hallmark of buying a course. You compare whether you need to buy from Aptech or NIIT, you need to go to a university or university P. Should you go to Stanford or should you go to Harvard, right? Because they're comparable. So comparison is very obvious. This is also a very interesting question. Let's see what happens there. So here,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, what it will do is that it will look at it and it will say that it will first of all do not, bash anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it has only been trained on Vishwakarma University does not mean that Bharati Vidyapeeth is bad. So I'll talk about the sentiment part. The sentiment is of an empathetic person who wants to really help the kid at the end of the day. So look the answer what it has given. Hey, I'm glad that you have an offer from both. That's great. So it has empathy, Charu. It
Yeah. Yeah.
appreciates the fact that it's a commendable job that you have done, that you have an offer from both. What a normal counselor in general will do the no, no, sir, I'll tell you why Bharati Vidyapeeth is very, very good. Okay. It will miss
Yeah.
all
It's
part of,
it's common,
yeah,
right?
it's you need to congratulate that kid. And that's where sentiment and empathy is inbuilt. We'll talk about it when we go back to the presentation. But
Hmm.
then it will talk about a very interesting thing that I am going to make you help an informed decision.
Hmm.
And it will say that, look, our mechanical engineering program, VU has a very strong mechanical engineering program. Industry collaborations are already there. There is a campus life and facilities, placement opportunities, accreditation and recognition. It's a UGC approved state private university. So I think you can now think about what to make in this. And the second question, Charles, will be that tell me more about the mechanical engineering program at PU. This is exactly what the next question you will end up asking, right? That
Hmm.
now you would like, want to know about this particular specific program of mechanical engineering. And if it has the data, it will talk about it. If it does not have the data, it will not talk about it. So maybe let me ask a different question. Tell me more about engineering programs at Viewpoint. And let me. and then I can go from there and in detail to it and look at it. So if whatever the engineering programs they offer for AI, ML, CSE, AML, or View, whatever, it will kind of go ahead and give you that. So you can keep on going and asking multiple questions. But the idea is that kids came to your website with a question, and you should be able to answer that question right.
Right.
And here, Charu, I will also want to mention a very important thing that, again, I wanted a big screen here. This is available as a co-pilot, which can even give details like fees. So in this case, I have asked about hostel facilities. It has even given me hostel charges, which includes breakfast, dinner, refundable deposit. So it has given me all those things.
Yeah, I
You
can see laundry service is also
laundry
there.
service also. It has gone
Yeah.
ahead and did that to it. And and you
In
could
fact, someone has also asked about public transfer in the chat section. So
let me ask.
transport is what they, so let me just read the question. It says, how can I reach to the university by public transport? Please guide me and also tell me about the campus in general, is the question.
And also tell me about
The campus in general is what they
campus
have mentioned.
in general. So like I'm asking two questions, a little bit about the public transport, little bit about the campus. I hope that it will be able to bring a really good context here and give you. So yeah, so it tells that hey, there is a local bus network connectivity. You could do that. Also, the campus theater or facilities, university also has a shuttle service runs between the campus and nearby metro station. Pune now has metro, and it making it convenient to you. So you have two things. You can take a public transport, you can do that. And the next question you will ask that, location of the campus, for example, because that's the second thing that I will want to add.
Hmm.
I like, because now I will take a public transport, so I really need to know that where is the campus located. So it's in Kondwa at 41048 pin code with a survey number 234 in
Nice.
Nagar.
Yeah.
Right. So now that's the next question that somebody who's traveling from Delhi coming to Pune in admission would want to ask. So that's the power. So again, Charu, we can keep on going.
Yeah, I can
And
again see so
but
many questions in the chat, but probably we
but
should
but
stop
what
now.
what I want to say is that and this is just one part, Charu. This is
Hmm.
for people who have less attention span, who are basically your Gen Zs, and also the parents who were
Yeah.
the baby boomers, born in 70s now. And now the kids do not have time. They want quick answers. They live in the age of WhatsApp and Instagram chat. But we are not only restricting to that, Charu. And because we always think about our end users are not student and parent. They are our audience and customers end users.
Hmm.
The important thing we have done is that we have brought all the power of this inside our CRM also, Charu. And I really am
Okay.
very excited to show that. So it's like basically a co-pilot inbuilt for the counselors also. So the same thing that you see there, okay, it is also available for the counselors here. So what does it mean that when a counselor is counseling or doing his day-to-day affairs and things like that, he or she can, also ask multiple questions, entry requirement, eligibility criteria, and things like that here itself. Because when they come to the organization, they also do not know each and everything. But while
Hmm.
they are
Hmm.
talking to the students, counseling them physically on the phone, on conversation, they also have multiple questions. So what we are saying and enabling is that can you also use the power of AI within Extra Edge when you're using that, and you can get different aspects and different conversations across various things. So while this is populating, you will get to know the eligibility, your intake. You could look at your previous chats. So for example, scholarships available. So these are different scholarships that are available in the organizations here in art, commerce, design, infrastructure to it. You can go back and check that what were the different engineering programs available in fashion, interior, graphic. So think of it, Charu, that this will become like an AI generated real-time accurate knowledge base for the counselors and
Okay.
and admission team members also here. So here I asked this him question about the entry requirement. They said to me, hey, look, there is an online form at this link. You need to click on the apply for admission button, fill up the basic information, do this, do that. I just copy pasted, Charu. And if somebody has asked me this question, that can you send it to me right away to it, I clicked on an email. I said that yeah, I mean, this is the, hey dear sir, these are your basic kind of entry requirement that you have in the system, that I can just copy and paste it and send it to them right in this.
Yeah.
So now I am not restricted to what I know. I have this information that I can then, copy, paste, and I can use different things to customize it, to change it, to modify it, and send it to it. And I can guarantee you, Charu, this information is 100% accurate because this is
Mm,
coming from the website and documents and not from the subjective information of the counselor, right? In this
true,
case.
true.
So, just
So
imagine
it will even accelerate their onboarding for that matter. We can
100%
just,
no
yeah.
to train them. Your entire organization's knowledge base is built in here with all those pre-populated questions. So when do admission starts, when a scholarship available, what are the courses, and ask them. If somebody is on a phone call, right, and you want to really go and answer this question for him, that what are the hostel facilities available, so
Yeah,
you
so
can
let's say
quickly
I'm the
get that.
student and you're the counselor and we are on call and I just say that, okay, can you please tell me about, let's say, your scholarship which are available. So in that case, you can
Yeah.
just search here and tell me, right?
Yeah, right away. So these are all your scholarships. These are courses in design. Again, the laundry and hostel facility. The answer is same. Whatever is there, whatever is here. Just the difference is that it's more private, it's more intimate, okay, and it's more available to your end user. This will help in four different things, Charu. It will make the ramp up time, okay, to number of hours, not in minute, not in
Hmm.
days. Okay, A. B is that they will be giving all of them will be accurate information from the website, from the PDFs, and from the brochures. Third is that it will make them look very, very smart and real fast in front of the audience. And third is that time to first admission response, that's the most
Yes,
critical
yes.
criteria. That when a kid is asking a question, you cannot say, I'll get back to you. You need to answer
Hmm.
this question very, very fast. And for that, we have also enabled a lot of different prompts that are available here, which are readily available for you to query or ask some of those questions if you want to, which will give you more information as we speak, right? So
Absolutely.
this is available to all our paid users, will be available as a co-pilot within the product. While this also exists, Charu, on the website and the landing page. This is your Google Maps for your admissions, which will
Yeah,
give you direction, which will make you smarter, faster, better from a
sure,
co-pilot perspective.
sure.
Yeah. We can go back to the presentation, Charu, and kind of talk about a little bit about how we have done that, because I think audience also needs to know and really needs to understand that, how we have done that, and we can then take some of.
Sure.
I think there are questions of
Yeah, a lot of questions are there.
Vineet has asked the question how this is different than a chatbot agent and Vidya GPT by Extra. So I think that's a very good question. Let's kind of take that question and then move from there, right? So can you go back to the slide, let me go back to the slide. Okay. Okay. So the first question is that how it is different from a mom and pop chatbot that is available on any of the website you could train them. Uh, Please understand that you cannot upload your private data anywhere and everywhere. Okay. You will have your fee schedule, you have your details. You may want to privately share with that. Now, Extra Edge has been working in the admission field, and you trust us with your admission data, marketing data for the last 6 years. So the most important thing is that we pick this data from your university website, from your PDF, from your documents, from your structured data. Also, for our existing customers, we also have a live chat and chatbot product where millions of conversations have already happened with the candidates, right? In this case, right? And we make sure. Charu, just give me a second. Yeah, right. So the first thing is that we look at our existing website, PDF, document, and data. So the first three comes from you because it's available to you. The last comes from us because we have a chat product. We know that generally a 18-year-old or 22-year-old kid answers well to which question. So we have that anonymous intel already with us for a long period of time based on our existence in this industry. So we know what a kid likes to hear and what a kid is really interested in based on our chat product that we have had for the last 4 years, right? So that's the first part. The second part is, as you go, is the layer of security. You would not want to put a lot of your data which you are building in-house in the hands of anybody you do not trust today, right? And I will highly advise people, which I advise to my internal people in the company, that don't just sign up through a Gmail account and start uploading your personal data to like all those free chatbots or AI bots in the world. Don't do that, right? Because you do not know how your data is going to get used. Okay. So we have a lot of encryption in place. We have a lot of data in place. So for example, we do not look at email ID and phone number at all for any of those candidates in conversations. We anonymize that. We were the first one to introduce data masking for a CRM also. So we care about it very, very deeply. That's a second layer built on top of it. The third and important layer is that we work with state of the art foundation models. So be it cloud, be it Llama, be it OpenAI for advanced reasoning, for open source power of conversations, for constitutional AI. When I say constitutional AI, I mean responsible AI, right? In this case. So we have used hybrid foundation models to build this to it, right? Now, but we don't stop here. A very critical element on top of everything is what we call the sentiment training on the counselor. So this is where the verticalization comes into picture. We are working in India in the education counseling industry. So the counselor needs to be handling questions with empathy, with care, and with emotional nuances. We saw that in our question when we asked that, hey, you have an offer from two institute and you're talking to a, Vidya GPT for View Pune, but it is not rebuking Bharti Vidyapeeth. It is appreciating the kid that I am really happy that you have an offer from both these institutes. It's a commendable job. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you. I can guarantee you, even ChatGPT will not do that today because ChatGPT is not trained on a sentiment of a counselor today. It is trained on general internet data for general purpose queries. So that sentiment and nuance is very, very important. So if a mother is asking about the safety of her daughter, right? You first of all take couple of sentences to talk about that. Hey, I really care about this, and we are really appreciate that you are concerned about this first of all, because that's what a human being will do. So that's a important nuance we need that we bring onto it. And that's where the whole thing boils down to. So you have your data, we have our data of 6 years we bring in, you have your security on top of it, you have your foundational models, you have your sentiment, and on top of it, you have Vidya GPT, which is in itself a small learning model, a language model. And these all work in unison to give you and deliver you what we showed you today. Right. So below the iceberg, humongous amount of work is happening, right? Especially in the area of sentiment, safety, and security, which are fundamental core concerns in any AI product. And that is why we took our time to get this build in place. So that's very, very important. And we also wanted to show this to you so that you really have that clarity and you can ask better questions as you go for it. So
Yeah,
that's
because
the answer. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead,
just
Shraddha.
just adding on to that, if you remember recently this Ghibli trend was going on. I think it's still going on. And the only warning that government gave you was that you're uploading your own pictures on AI. Don't do that. You're sharing your data with general AI bots. So yeah, security is a main concern these days when it comes to AI, and I'm glad that we have taken care of it.
Yeah. So definitely, and I think for general purpose questions, very important. But for enterprise grade security and admission, Charu, for any university or any education institutes or a coaching or a vocational skilling or a study abroad is a very, very personal private affair and data, right?
Absolutely.
So it needs to be handled with a lot of caution and handled with a lot of, kind of, I would say, carefulness, so to speak.
And I'm sure since everyone is from the education industry here, they know how much effort, money it goes into bring in all that data. So of course, security becomes our number one priority.
Yeah,
So
so there's a question by Vilsha Rajpal. Is Vishakhapatnam University best for my child for mechanical energy, mechanical, or do you suggest another? So Vilsha, it will only work when Vishakhapatnam University has become Extrage's customer, and then we have taken the data and trained the data. Then it will be able to look at their courses and compare with the outside world. So it's not a general purpose bot that we are launching for students. Please understand, we are launching it for our customers, which are primarily universities and B2B customers. So tomorrow, if Vishakhapatnam University ends up becoming our customer, we will be able to answer that question today.
you have already started the Q&A. So
Yeah,
people, you can put up your Q&A over there. Meanwhile, I would also like to put my Q&A, which would your feedback on our demo. So I have just put in a poll over here. Request you all to kindly poll onto it. And meanwhile, Abhishek, probably you can just read the questions in our Q&A. There are already a lot of there in the queue.
I will certainly answer
Yeah,
them. So,
yeah.
so basically we need, it does scrutinize the entire website. It responds to the query. And right now it's just chat. We want to make sure, see, I think, uh, having multimodal options to ask questions is a luxury, right? But having something that is 10x better than what people are currently doing is the first step, right? So we have intentionally not introduced audio format right now because we want to make sure that, first of all, we hand it in the hands of our customers. They start to use that. They move from static websites to conversational AI, and also their internal people from those internal guides or probably using their own minds and the thought process or whatever they have overheard from their bosses. They stop that and they start to have a very clear answer to the questions in a chat format, right? In this case, and slowly we will move towards audio. I mean, if you started to use WhatsApp, Vineet, WhatsApp never had audio format at the start. For the first few years, it was just plain, I'm going to do 1,000x better job in chat conversations. That's the first, that's the first, kind of mountain to be climbed. Okay. And once we conquer that, we will introduce formats like audio and so on and so forth, and we'll go forward to that. Now, another very good aspect here is analytics. Now we could also start delivering analytics very, very fast. So that's the next evolution. And for that, there is a separate webinar on for the managers and the owners of the organization. How can we really deliver great analytics? So the question that you have asked today, so kid will not ask this question that, hey, what your admission conversion rate looks like and how many seats are filled in your mechanical engineering till date. A kid will never ask. Kid will probably ask that, hey, how your mechanical engineering programs are, placements, how are they? Your counselor might be asking question that a kid has asking me that, uh, did TCS and Infosys come for placement this year or not? Okay. But the owner of the organization or head of admissions will ask this question that how much money I have spent, how much is the admission coming from Google AdWord and Facebook ads, what's happening with my outbound hoardings and rickshaw ads that I have put, right?
Yeah.
How many people are coming on a walk-in and how many seats are filled, how much money is collected. So if I have 200 seats, everybody is paying me 10 lakh rupees. So 20 crore is to be collected. How much money I have collected? Have I collected 1 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore? So you have Vidya GPT analytics, which I think be a separate session altogether for a different set of audience, which are administrators, owner of the institutes, and head of admissions or head of marketing. Today, we focused on primarily on how can we make life of a student or a parent coming to the website 10x better, and how we could empower your counselors and admission agents as a co-pilot. It's like Chat GPT, but on your data, fully secure, right? And build on it, trained on it, answering questions in milliseconds, empowering students and empowering your counselors and your, admission teams to do that. So basically putting a Google Maps in their hand for navigating the admission queries. This was the focus for today's conversation. Uh, yeah. Do we have a voice version of this? Yes. So we need voice version is already in progress. We'll start with a text one, as I told you, and then we'll move to the voice one. Okay. Uh, can
Can
it
this be
also
integrated to WhatsApp?
Yes, 100%. Yes. This is also, we could deploy that on WhatsApp also. So the first cut that we are releasing on the website, which is mobile friendly. So it will look great on mobile app also for your counselors as a co-pilot and also on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is definitely as a part of our cards. Uh, So again, how it is different than a chatbot? Chatbot is very manual. It is very deterministic. You cannot ask a chatbot a free-flowing question. It's flow-based. Here you can ask the question using NLP. It understands English language and it goes to a foundational model and do that. So think of it like Chat GPT, but built for your organization. There was one more question on international aspect of.
Yeah.
So can it also list the universities abroad based on students' profile? Very good question. Yes, absolutely. For our study abroad partners, we are training them on their partner universities data. So if say somebody is a study abroad focused in UK, then we will be also able to look at their 10, 20 UK university and kids can answer question on comparative and we could give them a lot of contextual data. It is going to be, if not 10x, probably 50x better for study abroad customers of ours because the volume of data and the selection and the amount of risk is very, very high there. So it needs to be more accurate there. So definitely the answer is yes.
There's one more question. How can this replace the sales team?
Uh, I think it will not replace the
Yeah.
sales team uh, very, very
Will
clearly.
share, yeah.
I think what it will do is that it will end up complementing your team in their most in a way, and and it will become like a, so it's like cloud and cursor are not replacing programmers. They are allowing programmers to become better programmers by querying and getting the code auto generated. Similar to that, your sales agents will become smarter because they will have real time access to data. If you change your website, we will retrain it and we will make live data available to them year on year. So it will make them more smarter, better, and faster. Uh, that's my answer, Charu.
Next is,
Very Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, I like this question a lot. So Amruta from ICA. So welcome, Amruta. So glad to have our customers also there. Can we use our company's course details in Extra Edge? 100%, Amruta. We could definitely do that, right? So if you look today, any kind of course details or program details are already trained. All you need to do is very clearly ask this question, and you will be able to see that right away at any point in time, right? So as I was showing it to you. Charu, are you able to see my screen?
Now let me just stop sharing mine.
Yeah. So just to give you an example, Amrita, to you, right? So today, one second. So let me go back on a brighter screen. So yeah, so today here, if I really want to ask about that, tell me in detail about all the courses and programs available at View Pune. So it will give me a, kind of a very exhaustive list of all the programs courses available. So here you see it is now giving me an exhaustive list that in science and technology you have MSc, in B.Tech, post graduation, other programs, multiple programs, and then you can kind of go and double click, or the prospect can go and double click that, tell me more about only this particular thing. So it will kind of go detail, go into ML, go into that program, go into generative AI program in analytics. So it can keep on, it's like a thread, right? And somebody asked me how it's different than a chat, right? So it's our own product on one of our customers website, right? अभी अभी कैसे पूछू ये बताओ आप मुझे how do I ask this now? It is just asking me like a flow based selection. It's our own product, that it's a new admission inquiry, right? I am getting bored, right? I have this video and everything. I just want to know that what are the courses in AI, and that's the limitation of this thing called chatbot. It has nothing to do with us, right? You can't do that here. But in the world that you see yourself here in this world, you can do this very, very clearly. That's the fundamental difference between conversational AI and old bots. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah, Charu, just wanted to show. I think uh, to
So, Mr. Subhash Chandra has asked how AI will be more personalized to students and what is level of convenience to students for enrollment and admission.
Yeah. So here, very good question, Charu, asked by the gentleman. We have trained it on lot of sentiment. Okay. So when I say sentiment, is that if somebody says that I'm from BR, from the place I belong to, and I do not have like lot of financial ability to pay for the fees. And can you tell me what are the options for me for financial security and for loans and things like that here? In this case, he really needs to personalize that answer based on the sentiment of the kid. And the first thing that you would want to show him, not the fees, but the various scholarship offers that you have in your organization that you want to show them. So based on the prompt, first of all, before we decode what we say वो क्या पूछ रहा है, right? We decode वो किस sentiment में पूछ रहा है. What is the sentiment he's asking? Because for a kid and a parent who's finding a course, he's nervous by default, right? And you know that. So we need to calm the nervousness first. And that is why in our model, when you saw, the sentiment layer sits right below the layer of Vidya GPT SLM. So first of all, when any question is asked, we activate a sentiment layer. कि ये किस सेंटिमेंट टोन में पूछ रहा है. Is he excited? Is he nervous? Is he financially disabled? Is he kind of anxious? Is he kind of in a hurry? What do we give them? And then they give the answer to it. So by the virtue of that, it becomes hyper personalized. Amruta is asking the question, does it cost extra? Amruta, it has costed us lot of extra to build the product. unfortunately, right? So, we have taken a lot of pain in building the product. Building an AI product is not cheap. It's very expensive. Tokens are cost is coming down for sure, but overall architecting the product, building the product, because of a lot of complexities is very difficult. We will be gracious to our existing customers, offering them an early bird, but definitely this is a kind of chargeable product.
And Abhishek, you'll be glad to know that 90% people found our product to be mind blown. So, as a next step, guys, I'm just dropping out a form. You can drop your details over there so that we can talk more in detail how personalized we can make this Vidya GPT for you and your institute.
Yeah, thank you guys, for attending this and being a part of the audience. I think it's something that we need to embrace. We are very, very happy that some of you will be interested in it. We'll start to do a slow launch in our existing customer base at an early bird, and making sure that the co-pilot or the Google Maps for admissions is available to your internal people as well as to your external prospect students. And this is our second one. So I'm sure Charu and team will talk to you about the third one. We'll also go ahead and do the third one, and where we'll talk about things like analytics. Calling is a very interesting topic. We'll talk about some of those things going forward. So
Yep.
be part of that and please do.
Even I would like to thank each and every one of you for not just attending the webinar, but also participating so promptly. There were so many prompts in the chat section. I'm sorry if I missed any of them. I was trying my best to give Abhishek them. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much everyone for being part of it. I'll just wait here for 5 more minutes because people are still filling up their contact details and then we'll end the webinar. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Charu, for making this really amazing. Okay. And
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
see
you,
you in the
Abhishek.
next webinar very soon.
Yes,
Okay.
we are excited. And guys, if you have more topics to suggest, you can put it in that contact form itself. We'll try to bring it on.
Okay. Chalo. Have a
All
good day.
right. Thank you,
Bye.
Abhishek. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Yeah, all right. I believe I have got a lot of answers over here. So with this, I'll end the webinar. And once again, thank you, everyone. And I look forward to see you all again in our next webinar. Bye bye.